Hello and welcome to another student success interview. My name is Balázs and today I'm sitting down with Alfredo and Keishmer from Panama. These guys completely turned their life full 360, going from overworked and underpaid Uber drivers and call center workers to now working full-time remote from home on their phones and laptops as appointment setters without a boss, living their best dream lives. So we're going to cover exactly how did they do that. We're going to also cover the 3 failed business ideas that they had even before hearing about appointment setting and the exact steps that you can take yourself if this is something that you're trying to do as well. So without further ado, put all distractions away so that you can fully focus, bring a pen and a paper, and let's get to the interview. Guys, thank you so much for making the time for this quick interview with me and sharing your thoughts, results, and feedback on what we've been doing. Welcome in. Would you mind introducing yourself a little bit more for the people that are watching so that they know a little bit more about you guys?
All right, so my name's Alfredo. This is Keishmer.
Hey guys,
We've been appointment setters for, I think, over 6 months
6 months so far. Yeah,
pretty much.
in the action, I think.
Yeah, it's been a great experience. The online world is definitely different than what you tend to think, but it's way simpler if you put in the work. We got involved in this because we were just looking for other opportunities. We weren't making enough income. I worked in Uber, with Keishmer
I
working in a
used to
call
work at a
center.
call center.
Yeah,
That's
and
that's very similar to what I used to do. I don't know if you guys know that I used to work at a call center at Vodafone. I had, headset glued to my head pretty much 6 to 8 hours a day. Fun times.
Yeah, I remember
fun
you told us
times, right?
that.
And
Um,
then, okay, so you were doing Uber and then you were working at a call center. How do you guys
Yeah,
meet? Like, did you guys meet at the same job or you
in
were
the call
driving
center.
Uber with?
In the
yeah,
call
I
center.
actually worked in the call center with him. Then I started doing Uber.
Ah, okay, awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, I worked there. I think you worked there for like 3 or 4 years, more than
four
me.
years,
Before
four
I
years.
joined, I worked for 2 years. But yeah, so as Alfredo mentioned, my name is Keishmer Castillo. I'm from Panama City. Yeah, so I'm also a graphic designer. And yeah, so I joined the call center because previously I was like unemployed. I was working freelance, but then, with the
Mhm.
pandemic, a lot of things going on. Graphic designer in Panama as well. It's not like well paid. You gotta get good clients to have
Okay.
like higher income. So then Alfredo told me about this opportunity. Before that, we were looking for different opportunities online. So
Mhm.
it was either you or another person. So because we were solely in for the appointment setting or any type of opportunity online. But I
Okay.
think,
Do you
yeah.
mind? That's interesting because I didn't know that. If you guys don't mind me asking, like,
Mhm.
was the other opportunity also appointment setting just with a different individual
Yeah,
or
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
just like
Yeah.
that.
What made you guys go with us rather than the other opportunity, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, you guys had first off, the pricing. And second, you had a very good approach. You're closer, Redeem.
It was very good.
You can tell that he's a very good salesman and he did his job right. So he branded this the way a closer should, and that just convinced me.
Yeah, kudos to Radim over here. What made
Mhm.
you guys look for opportunities online though? So you said you were doing Uber, you were working at a call center. What happened that like you guys, what was kind of like a turning point that made you guys like, this is cool, but we need to make something different?
No, it
Right.
wasn't cool. For me, it wasn't cool.
I mean, dude, I don't know about you. With my call center experience, I enjoyed it. It was fun. I was in my early 20s. I never had a job before. The environment was
Okay.
nice. I started making some money, so I was happy for about like a year there.
No, yeah, definitely. It was a good job because I was working remote and then I was
Yeah.
working remote, but then they started like putting a lot of stuff on our backs and paying you the
Mhm.
same. That's what the
I
point
mean,
where I
for an
think
entry
like,
level job,
hey,
it was like good pay.
exactly.
As you say, it was also my first job. I was happy about it because I was like, okay,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna starve now.
20 son is fine, but then turning
But
30,
yeah,
not
your
so good.
mindset starts to change and you want to
Yeah.
make more income.
Okay.
And we first started with brick and mortar. We
Mhm.
thought like, hey, we just gotta ask the bank for a loan, and we needed around what, like 40 to 50K.
40 to
We wanted
50K.
to buy a mini mart.
60K was the highest, I think.
Yeah,
Like
and the bank
30K the
just
lowest.
obviously didn't approve that with our level of income. So we were like, let's
Hmm.
just find another way, a more immediate way.
Mm.
And there was a post you actually put on Instagram where you compared like active versus passive income. That really
Hmm.
caught my attention. So I was like, okay, I think it's better if we get a way of income that comes from our skills as opposed to just buying an asset and having it create revenue for us, which is fun as well. But
Interesting.
having
Okay.
a skill set means like I could be anywhere in the world and I can profit.
Exactly. And
Um,
with a remote job as well.
that was
So,
also something that caught my attention.
okay. So with the bank that you said that you guys tried to get a loan, was that so that you guys wanted to buy like a piece of real estate and then rent it out? That was the idea?
Uh, no, it
Like
was
a
a mini
market,
mart,
mini
like
market.
where you buy like chocolate bars, you buy
Okay.
drinks.
So kind of like a little supermarket?
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, and we kind of like saw the statements, and we saw like, okay, between the two of us, we're gonna be making like 6K a month.
Uh-huh.
That is a solid plan for us, which we were
Mhm.
making like 1,000 each
In that,
month.
And
yeah,
So
then you go
something
to the bank and then you're getting
we
out in
yeah,
tears. That's not going to be the way. Yeah.
he was
yeah,
independent and started being a freelance, and I was like not in the 2 years because you gotta have like 2 and maybe 3 years to have a loan with my company because the
Okay.
problem with the company in this case wasn't like that trustworthy for the bank in this case. So they didn't
Okay.
allow me a loan.
Okay. So you went to the bank and then it didn't turn out. What happened after? Did you guys go back and okay, let's work, let's see what happens, or you were just like scrolling
We
on
started
Instagram and
calling
randomly
different.
found me? Yeah, calling people.
Oh,
We started
well,
doing calls
yeah,
and calls every
we
single
came
day.
we came with the idea of, selling a vending machine.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
So
That was the
we
Okay.
next.
got like
Yeah.
into call calling without even knowing what we were
Yeah.
doing. And we were also doing emails. We were
Okay.
just sending emails all day to business owners.
Talking
Like,
with people in jeans, in like squares, like, hey, we want to put like a vending machine here. Like
yeah,
a lot of people say yes, but then they, like they give you like turn around and yeah, we're gonna consider the idea, but nothing happened.
that's more or less when we started getting
You guys,
into
you
the
guys tried a lot of things. I can tell. Like you did Uber. What was it? You tried getting a loan from the bank and starting a business. You tried the vending machine stuff. And then this was appointment setting right was after, or was it something else in between?
I think it was after
yeah, right
all the
after
steps.
right
Yeah.
Right
after these
after.
steps.
But we made a list one Sunday and we made a list like, okay, so we're gonna do this with the bands, we're gonna do all this plan. And then appointment setting, because I remember I have it was like the last option. Not the last option, but because we wanted to have the money to pay it.
We were gonna first do the
Yeah,
brick and mortar stuff,
exactly.
right? We were
Yeah.
gonna the mini mart, and once we had the mini mart, we were gonna get into
We're gonna get
appointment
the appointment
setting.
setting. That was
I see. So that was already on kind of the horizon. You just we're not sure like how you guys or when you guys gonna get into it. Okay.
delusional thinking we're gonna get that.
Yeah, we
right
were
away.
super delusional. Like now we know
Yeah.
how banks work. So
But yeah,
That's cool. Like it's
it
a
was
cool experience. It's a learning experience. And luckily you guys didn't lose a lot of money and getting that, because I've seen that too. What was the first impressions? Like did you guys know what appointment setting is before you get into this? Like in terms of like, yeah, we're gonna type messages, but did you really know what it involves?
did some little research.
Mhm.
I have had some experience, like I have the idea like, okay, so this is maybe something like marketing, something like
Mhm.
a social media manager or something, because since I used to study graphic design, kind of I knew, but I knew it wasn't the same. Didn't know anything about doing
Okay.
bookings, anything about doing follow-ups, prospecting, nothing like that.
Okay.
Just like it was like a social media agent or something like that.
It's
They
interesting
call
that you mentioned, I'm sorry to cut you off. It's just interesting that you mentioned that you did the design, but with the designing, you didn't do that online. It was more of like, did you do that online?
no, never
No,
online.
graphic design online. Because at the same, like, what's really cool, in my opinion, about appointment setting is that you can use the same skills that you guys have in terms of landing clients and opportunities to get you clients for the design stuff. You just change a
Actually,
few things at the end of the offer.
mm.
Um, okay,
Yeah,
so
but
you had some
it's a little
ideas.
bit hard. It's a little bit hard because maybe sometimes you make the design, you don't know the person and they don't pay you or stuff like that happened before. So it's risky. So what I do with design is like get to a job or get a referral
Okay,
and work with someone like for freelance. It was better for me as freelance, but
yeah,
always getting to know the person in person, right? One-on-one,
yeah,
but
that
never
makes
get
sense.
online. That's right. I tried with Fever, I think, but also
Mhm.
saw some reviews and didn't continue, pursuing that.
Okay. So, yes, so basically you guys had some ideas on what appointment setting is. Of course, not the full picture,
What
What did
about
you
you?
when we first chatted, like what was you guys' first impression? Like did you felt like this is super hard to do, a lot of things we would need to learn, or was it like more of like step by step, it's like a process that takes, X amount of time, X amount of effort? Like was it more of a laid out path, or was it like super hard to understand and grasp?
No, I did have that mindset
At
of,
the beginning, at
the
the beginning.
process.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I probably don't have the skills yet.
Mhm.
I think it's important that when you feel you don't have the skills yet, go back to your program. Because I did finish the modules, but then again, I was like, okay, probably I wasn't paying as much attention as I should have on this module.
Yeah.
And when I went back and then went back to DM, it was
Mhm.
like conversations were way more powerful than they used to be.
Okay. So when it comes to appointment setting, like do you guys mind um walking through the person watching this, that what is that you guys actually do? So you guys already have clients, you guys make money doing appointments, saying like what is that you actually do for a random individual who might be watching this wondering like how does this actually work?
So for me, I think like there are now like three steps,
Okay.
like getting the pain points of the person, knowing how you're gonna need this person or your coach or your client, getting the desire of of this person to have the goals. So for me, these are key. These three stuff are keys. Like, prospect the person, first step,
Mhm.
then get the pain points or get the result, what they want to do, and then get the goals. Then you're gonna have the person ready to convert, and you can do the sell in this case because it's mostly sales, but with purpose. You need to have like this person needs to have a purpose, and you
Right.
need to go for this lead as well, right? Or your
Exactly.
client.
Yeah. Like the way I like to say it is you're not trying to sell stuff or promote stuff to people that don't need it. Like you're trying to
Exactly.
find like
Yeah.
what's the issue that they have, and do we have a potential solution to that? Can we help them? Let's say if somebody's trying to lose weight and we have a weight loss program, that's of course a good match. But if we're having a weight loss program, but then they want to build a business, probably
Doesn't
not.
make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And one cool thing, like for our first client, Jordan, in this case, he
Mhm.
later told me like, "Hey, I hired you and asked you, and I wanted to prospect you, but since I saw on your profile like, hey, my description was like a focus
Photography, appointment setter,
photography, a
something like
problem
that.
setting, and something like helping photographer focus on their craft, and he likes that. That's when he talked to me and hired me to do his.
Okay. So
So
that's a
this is
very good point.
yeah,
Yeah.
like focus on what you're gonna do, like for your clients in this case, on your
Right.
Instagram.
So for you watching, basically what you can take away is when you're creating and optimizing your profile, this is why it's super important that we pick a niche. You said you were already in design and photography, and there's not a coincidence that you guys work with a photography coach
Yeah,
Right, right.
exactly.
because you already know how that works, you already enjoy doing that, and now you help a guy doing the same kind of stuff and you just work together. So how things are now. Like, okay, we know it before you guys were doing Uber, you had the call center job. What changed?
The lifestyle definitely changes.
Or mindset.
Your mindset changes because you're not like working on a time frame.
Mhm.
You're results based working now.
Okay.
Um, so you can definitely have like a 5 day work shift one day and have the same results as a 2 hour work shift the next day. It all
Definitely.
depends on the quality of leads and the quality of conversation coming from you. So that is fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
That definitely is fun. The fact that I don't have to be so complacent and I don't have to answer to somebody who's gonna be behind me like, hey, you went on a break for more than 15
Where
minutes.
are
Like,
you? Yeah.
yeah, I don't
Call
have to
center
go through
life.
that hassle. And I really experienced that a lot in the call center.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's the fun part. But it's also a
Quality of
lifestyle
life,
you have
I
to
think.
be held accountable of, because
Right.
if you are lazy, then you gotta pay, man. Like it's gonna be shown in your numbers. So
It's for
just
disciplined people. Like you gotta learn how to be disciplined. So even though now you don't have the like very
Schedule.
rigid,
Oh,
like the structure, like, hey, this is a 9 to 5, you come in at 9, this is where you have your lunch break, this is what you do, and nobody's telling you to do that. You gotta have you got to work out what works perfectly for you. Maybe for your lifestyle, you guys don't have kids. We work with like stay-home moms or like individuals who have kids or families, and they got to work out their own schedule that they can
Right.
stick to and they can be consistent with. Because again, the game is not that now you're like all free and do whatever you want all day every day, because that's not going to
Definitely.
work. That's the closest way that you're going to fail. Because now you
Mhm.
don't know, like, when should I go to sleep? When should I wake up? Like, before that I had the structure. Now I'm free. Sounds awesome, and at the same time it sounds scary. But yeah, that's a very valid point.
Yeah, it's a unpredictable lifestyle at first. You feel
Yeah.
kind of guilty and everything. You're like,
But I
bro,
think it gets you
what
like
is this? But
once you
you get it.
you just start getting like the taste of it, like once you're doing more and more and you're getting people, and also you get your client to pay you more because they are seeing
Yeah.
you are getting results, like
Yeah.
that satisfaction. Also like confidence in yourself, like, hey, so I can do this,
Hmm.
maybe I can do more and more, not only for my client, but for me as well.
Yeah.
Focus on my health, the energy, like the quality of life changed a lot,
I'm happy
a
for
lot.
you guys. A quick question. A lot of people ask me like, "Hey, Balázs, I don't like to just be getting paid in commissions." What do you guys think on that? Is it just commission opportunities out there, or is it possible to get like a fixed monthly salary kind of thing? What is you guys' like take on that?
Yeah, it's definitely possible to get
We never did commissions to start off. We
it's definitely possible with retainers.
Yeah,
You just gotta do the hunting right
yeah,
and
yeah,
put in the reps every day. Like it's what we talked about before.
Yeah.
You gotta do the 30 reps, but you gotta do them each
yeah.
day,
Each day,
nonstop.
yeah.
What I would do to that is it comes down to like how good you negotiate. And this is something that we drill with the people, making sure that you do not accept deals that are just not serving you the best way possible.
For sure.
And again,
Yeah,
making sure, because like getting opportunities, it's a two-way street. Like the business is hiring, that's great, but that doesn't mean that you have to accept it. It's like you have the choice to say no.
right.
Because again, whenever you say yes to something, you say no to something else. And if you put your effort and energy and time into something that doesn't serve you as much, you probably could be putting that time into something else where you can get a retainer, like you guys did it many times. Do you guys mind sharing numbers, or should we skip that? All cool, no stress.
Well, right now, we're in the 2K each of us,
Mhm.
and we're doing like 5% commission with Jordy. And with the German client, we are only on retainer
So far.
so far.
Gotcha. But
And this
then
is with
yeah,
appointment
you guys
set.
will figure out, and we talked a lot about like getting you guys a third client and then
Yeah.
scale this, because I know that you guys can.
But we're living like 100% out of appointment setting, and it's been like this for 4
Almost 4
months,
months right now. Yeah.
pretty much.
That's awesome.
So,
I want to move to Panama. It sounds like a fun place.
Yeah,
sir.
it is. But
Cool.
yeah, definitely such a good experience, like getting to be in your program, learning and all that. Definitely has the skill set once you build, because you
Yeah.
gave us the skills, and we saw the videos and all that, but then you gotta put yourself to, because it's not something like you just go and watch Balázs video and that's it. You gotta take action.
Yeah, I want to
You
point that out.
definitely
Like,
need to take action.
you can't say that you haven't retained a client or
Mhm.
something because of your program, that it wasn't complete or anything. It was actually because you didn't pay 100% attention to the program. And that's just me being 100% honest, because I I'm not like the best guy retaining stuff. I have to redo it like
Mhm.
3 or 5 times, but I understand, like, I hold myself accountable for it, and that is something that when you freelance, you have to do. You have to hold yourself accountable. And in this case, your program has everything on it. Like, each module explains to detail what you have to do. So there's no
I
loss
appreciate you
there.
guys saying that, because of course, like I'm trying to do my best and making sure that the people show up to the coaching calls. We give them new modules, new ways, pretty much each and every month. And I tell everyone like take notes. It's boring. Like it's kind of like you got to sit
Yeah.
down and put in the boring work for an extended period of time, even though you won't see results probably the first few
Especially
weeks.
for older people, but it's possible for them as well. Like takes not
100%.
that, but it's possible for everybody.
Yeah. Like
Right.
we had students, like you guys are quite young. Do you mind me asking like how old are you guys?
I'm from 95.
That's
I'm
pretty much the same. So you're 29.
Very.
and 30.
Your turn. You guys are like late 20s and 30s. It's pretty much like we have people in their 50s and 60s making this work because it's a process, a system, and as long as you're consistent,
Yeah.
there are you guys. It's awesome.
Definitely.
Quick question before we wrap things up. I mean, two is, was there anything that made you guys almost not join? Or anything that almost hold you guys back and like, let me think this through again?
Well, you're our first mentor. You're our first big investment.
We did
So
some research. We did a lot of research.
That's
yeah,
good.
sure.
We were thinking like, okay, what is something happen, something go wrong? Like, okay, let's like, give the leap of faith.
And yeah,
But we research you
thank
a
God
lot.
for the power of credit cards, man.
We did a research a lot.
I think it's the best. Like if you're out there and you hate your job and you don't have enough money, man, use a credit card, not for stupid shit, but actually to make more
To add
money.
value to yourself, yeah. Maybe.
So that was pretty much everything that was stopping us. You know, we were kind of like skeptical in the sense like, oh my God, this is so much money.
We don't know this person, but we did the research, and also the closer, as Alfredo mentioned, he was pretty good. Because I had to be honest, I was a little bit skeptical because didn't know
That's good.
the investment, but the guy he responded all my question. He was always like, is that something that makes sense to you? And he was like, pretty good in the conversation. He built
Yeah,
good
of course, like we don't want to force anyone into this because we know at the end of the day it's going to be work and
Yeah.
it's going to be hard work between you and the individual, you and me. And we want to get you guys. That's what I tell to all our team members now, like, guys, I don't want more people in the program. I want more success stories. And it takes a certain kind of like personality and individual that is actually consistent, does what we teach, and repeats it.
And now that you mentioned that, also I think on the chat you have with Alfredo, you never mentioned price. You never mentioned like offer anything, just like value and what you do and what like you never were like those pushy sellers. Like never. I don't recall.
We don't want to be. Like, I feel like it doesn't work that way anymore, especially that the marketplace is getting a little bit more crowded and people are being hit with offers left and right and advertisements left and right every single day with like, hey, make money with this thing, make money with that thing. This is the new wave. I just want to be like, hey, you have an issue. Let's talk and see if what we have might be a good fit to you. And if it would, we'll show you what we're doing. We'll show you who are the people that we helped. We'll show you how it works. And then you can make an educated decision whether that's something that you would like to do or you would like to do alone.
Right.
That's pretty straightforward in my opinion. One final question. If you were to recommend this to someone, who would that be? Who do you think this would be helpful to?
Definitely to the people who, have a different mindset and want to get over the 9-to-5 lifestyle and
want to success, are eager to grow.
And some think like that's just the only way, but they just don't understand there's a world out there of opportunities. I recommend those people to leave their skepticism behind and actually make the investment. And otherwise, like, what's the loss at the end of the day? You just lose a little money and whatever. You just get it back.
That's what I wanted to ask you. That was a really good point because when I first joined the program, that was pretty much all of my life savings in the first program that eventually didn't fully work out. I had the same exact thought in my mind, like, hey, I have two options. Either this works and I'm going to be awesome and I'm going to crush it and it's going to be all sunshine and rainbows and make money online and I don't have a job anymore. Or option two, I still have a job, I lost some money, and then I'm still here. I'll still have a roof over my head. I'll still have, food on my plate. I have a little bit less money, but I can make it back. But then what's the other alternative? Me sitting here 40 more years?
For sure.
Probably to me, that thing to me, when I like really sat down and thought about it, that was like,
you don't want to be later. Yeah, definitely.
Especially like, and that's why for me and probably for people who have, I wouldn't say call center jobs suck, but like jobs that are not like, you're in an office, you're kind of like an engineer, it's still a 9 to 5, but you're getting a nice salary. For them, it's so much harder to make a move because they're getting comfortable. For us, for me, I was pretty much getting paid maybe a little over minimum wage, but not so much, just a little. And I had a sucky job that I had, a headset glued to my head pretty much all day long. And then I was like, there's no way I would do this for 40 more years. There's no chance,
No chance, definitely.
you know.
Like for sure, like if I were making like 3K in a company,
Yeah,
I see your point there. Like I wouldn't, it would be harder for risk.
And that's what my very early mentor said very well. Like, Balázs, how he said it? Balázs, the mediocre life is very comfortable.
Yeah.
very, very comfortable. Yeah.
Couldn't be more true. I didn't understand it at the time because I was like 18, 19 at the time trying to sell insurance. But now it makes a lot of sense. And I hope it drives the point home for the people watching this.
Now you understand that you're gonna pay the price. Like you don't know what if you left a mediocre life.
Yeah, like you're gonna pay the price no matter what. Like you either pay to learn and educate yourself, or you pay by the pain and the time and the missed opportunities.
Absolutely, man.
Hey, if you're still watching, I can tell that you're really motivated in making a change within your life right now. And number one, I want to congratulate you. And let's be real, this video is not the shortest ones, so I want to make sure that you're leaving this one with an actual actionable plan to change your life completely 360, just like Alfredo and Keishmer. So if you'd like to see the exact step-by-step plan that myself and my team came up for Alfredo and Keishmer that helped them go from overworked and underpaid Uber drivers and call center workers entirely to working full-time remote from home appointment setters, then click the link down in the description under this video, book a quick call with our team, and we can show you the exact step-by-step blueprint that we did show to them. And of course, this will give you a really good understanding and an idea on the exact steps in the path that you would need to take to change your life 360 as well. And afterwards, you can make an educated decision whether you would like to walk on that path alone, all by yourself, or if you would like our help to make that work. No obligations, of course. So, with that being said, I hope this video was insightful, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one.